All right, so continuing about paragraph, again, we've just looked at how we would show the paragraph break, and thinking about that, whichever one of those you choose, be consistent throughout your piece of writing. So if you're writing a whole piece or a whole article or something like that, you don't do one paragraph will be an indent and one will be missed line. Just stick to it all the way through. I would usually these days go for a missed line just to show that you've got a new paragraph, but it's completely up to you. But be consistent, stay with it all the way through. So looking at the way that we've done this, you look at the first word being indented. It starts a bit further in, so the new paragraph can be easily seen. So you're showing your reader this is where the new paragraph begins. Okay, so thinking about that, let's look at the story, the account of the school trip to the zoo that we're looking at here. So we left school at 7:30 in the morning on a big old coach to get to Paynton Zoo for 9 a.m. Whilst we were on the coach, the teachers told us to take our bags with us and gave us our instructions for the day. When we finally arrived at the zoo, we were allowed to go and see the animals straight away. The first stop was the tiger's cage. The tigers were huge and ferocious looking. The teachers would not let us stay there for long. Next we went to see the snakes. The snakes were having a feed and were eating mice. The girls started screaming hysterically after watching the snake devour the mouse. Consequently, teachers decided it was time to stop for lunch. A few hours later, we went to see the elephants having a wash. This was the highlight of my day because the elephants shook water all over us. It was very funny. We got back to school late. We were all tired but happy. This is my favourite school trip ever, said my friend Ginny. Mine too, I agreed. It really had been a fantastic day. Okay, so that's perfectly straightforward, perfectly grammatically correct, but it's not split up into different sections. It's not organised into an easily manageable piece of reading and writing. So let's start to have a look at what happens if you stick a couple of paragraphs in. Have a look at that one. Then start to think. Look, you can see there that there's where the paragraph has been indented. It shows that we've changed time and place. So we started off leaving school, we're on the coach, and then they changed time and place. They've got to the zoo. So that recommends a new paragraph for you. Let's have a look. The next one. What's this one going to be? Time changes again. The snakes. They went to see the snakes after they've been to one of them. And then, of course, time changes again a few hours later. And then we've got time changes again. They got back to school. So the time changes in this decide where the paragraphs are going to be made. What do we see here? What we were talking about earlier? Speech. We've got Jimmy speaking and me speaking. I agreed. So we've put different lines, different paragraphs for the different speakers and indented them both. So you can see the separate talking. If you just put them all together, it can be a little bit confusing who says what, anything like that. So perfectly done. Time, 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 and then when people talk, use the paragraphs again. Okay, so to make your paragraphs even better, there are many things you can do, or a few things you can do. Obviously, the content of your paragraph is going to be important, and we'll look at that next.